Welcome in Karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to make pizza and I'm going to start with my pizza sauce. So I've got half an onion over here, some fresh garlic, fresh oregano leaves, dried oregano, some salt, sugar, olive oil, and I'm using San Marzano canned tomatoes. If you don't have those, you can use crushed tomatoes, any brand that you prefer. If you don't have those, you can use fresh tomatoes. Now over here, I have got my pan on medium heat and I've used about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and my onions are nicely chopped. And you want to saute this for a couple of minutes and then I add a fresh garlic paste. It doesn't have to be a paste. You can just chop it up nicely. That's fine. And I like to use a fresh oregano and dry together, as you can see, but you don't have to do both. I just love the combination of the two. You know, the aromas and the flavors are just amazing. Now, if you don't have both, you can just increase a little bit of garlic, so at least your sauce has got a nice garlic taste. So you just want to saute this for a couple of minutes, and then we add the tomatoes. If you're going to use the fresh tomatoes, please make sure that you blanch them and you remove the skin. I do have a video which I will post it. I'll put the link in the description box to see how it's done. And that's it. So I'm just going to mash my tomatoes. And then add about 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar and half a teaspoon of black pepper. You may need to add more sugar if your tomatoes are more acidic. You just want to balance that. Now the sugar, the black pepper, the salt are things that you can adjust accordingly. And then I cooked it for about 35 to 45 minutes on low heat. I basically simmered it. And then, you can cook this ahead of time. You don't have to do it on the same day you're making your pizza. Now for my dough, I've got 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, some water, yeast, salt, sugar, and olive oil. So 2¼ teaspoons of yeast makes about, the packet yeast, that's about 7 grams, and 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 cup of warm water. And we're just going to mix this well. Now to jumpstart, I just add 1 cup of flour. And you just want to mix it well. And then we're going to cover this and keep it aside to let it stand for about 5 to 10 minutes. So after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever, this is what you're going to get. And I just add 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to start adding the flour little at a time. It could be a cup, it could be half a cup, it could be 3/4 of a cup. There's no specific measurement. Okay, there are 2 ways that I like to do my dough. It depends on my time and my mood. But this is my favorite. And but the measurement is the same. I use the same measurement, 3½ cups of flour. It just works for me for the quantity of the pizza that I need for my home. Friday night is a movie night, and without a pizza, the movie night is not complete. It's a family night, family pizza, movie night, whatever. Okay, now you're just gonna start mixing the dough well. And if you need, you may go ahead and add 2 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon of flour, just in case you feel that it's too sticky. Right? And I like to knead mine for about 10 minutes just to get those glutens really, really growing strong so that my pizza dough is easy to stretch. Okay? And we're going to put some oil there to make sure that the dough rises well without sticking at the side of the bowl. Keep it away for about 2 hours. Okay, now I've got some really, really thick chicken breast over here, and I just like to split it into 2 so that I can cut it into nice thin strips. It's easy to cook. And you don't have to do chicken. I love to make shrimp pizza. That's my favorite. Okay, now for my marination, it's very simple. I like to use fresh ginger and garlic paste, which has a little bit of salt. and also oregano, dried oregano, about half a teaspoon, and some olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, and black pepper. Now, if you don't have the oregano, you can just do the garlic and the black pepper and salt. That should do fine. You don't have to use ginger and garlic, but the Swahili in me has to use ginger and garlic in my chicken or fish or whatever. All right, and then we're just going to mix this well. And I'm going to keep it in the fridge for a couple of minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes till I'm ready to use it. Okay, so I've got my pan ready here. This is a grill pan for the stove. And I did not add any oil, and because I already have the oil in the marinade, and my heat is on medium high, and I like to just cook it like 5 minutes on each side and then flip it. I like my chicken to be nice, tender, and very, very juicy. You can use a frying pan for that. You don't have to use the grill. Now the dough is ready. And I'm going to divide this into 2. You don't have to do it 2. You can do 3. You can do 4. It depends on the number of pizzas that you want. This gives me 2 large pizzas. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So I've been using these measurements for a long time. I mean, we do pizza night, for about 10 years now? 15 years. All right. So yeah, so you just want to make it into tuck it down like that, so it's easy to make it into a disc, and it's easy to get it to the pizza shape when you're ready to do it. And we're going to cover this and keep it away for 20 minutes while we get the rest of the ingredients ready. So I got some mushroom, my tomato sauce, and I've got my chicken ready, some onions, bell peppers, and olives. And I use Italian seasoning as well as olive oil. And I just like to dice my chicken into nice small cubes. Yeah, I prefer to do it this way because when you cut them small and cook them small, they become too dry, and I don't like my chicken dry. Now, the most interesting part here is you don't have to do this, but if you want to try it, please go ahead and do it. Okay, so I love to add the garlic paste. I do have a video on the garlic paste, and this is amazing. This is what I call garlic chicken pizza. This is so nice and juicy and garlicky. All right. So now I'm ready to get my pizza ready. I've got 2 pans there. And I'm going to start one on the surface here, dusted with some flour. And you just want to go slowly and gently at the center, starting at the center, going outwards. Just like that. But you know what? I get so impatient, and then I just move as fast as I can. All right, and I also added a little bit of olive oil to get my dough easy to stretch it out. I would love to become a pro in this, but I'm still learning. I'll get there someday, like how they do it. And they have a special, the wooden thing that you use, and then you just transfer your pizza. I don't have that, and I just have too many things, too many cooking gadgets. I don't think I have room to have anything extra. So that's it, and I like to make some holes with the fork, just because for this pizza I like it to be straight, so that allows the air to come through like that, so it's not bumpy. And then we're gonna add the sauce. It's nice and thick. Sometimes I buy the sauce. I don't make it all the time, but I prefer to make it at home all the time if I could. Anything homemade is the best because you know exactly what you're putting in there. Then we're going to put it in the oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, 260 for about 5 minutes. Okay, so we kind of blind baked. And then we do the cheese. Now, usually for cheese pizza, I like to use three type of cheese. But I have just little, so I decided not to use it. I'm just using a mozzarella. And then we're going to sprinkle the Italian seasoning there. And then drizzle some olive oil. And then back in the oven for about 7 to 8 minutes on the same temperature, 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 260 Celsius. So now for my second pizza, I decided to just go ahead and use the pan straight. And just like the first one, we're going to stretch it out like that. So we got it ready. And for this one, I am not going to make the holes because I like my pizza, you know, bumpy, like hills and valleys, as I call it. And then we do the sauce. Now you can make any toppings that you like, obviously. All right, so this is going to go in the oven. After the oven, now I'm using the three types of mixture of three types of cheese for the bottom, because it's not much. And then the onions, and then the chicken. I mean, who doesn't love pizza? I mean, I love pizza. Not every day, though. And then some bell peppers. Did I say that I like mine with? I love my shrimp pizza with the spinach. And then we have some mushrooms there. And top it up with the mozzarella cheese. And then sprinkle some Italian seasoning or oregano. Sometimes I use whatever I have in hand. And then drizzle some olive oil again. About a tablespoon. That makes our pizza nice and moist. Then some olives and back in the oven for about 7 minutes. So my cheese pizza is ready. This is for the kids, so I usually do cheese first. So when they start with that, and then they finish with the other one. And you can add as much cheese as you want. So that's about it. As you can see, it's nice, and you got all those cheese strings all over the place. I didn't add enough cheese this time. I don't know why. I think I got so nervous because, you know, I'm doing a video. Now my chicken pizza is ready. It's so beautiful, all those colors, white, yellow, white, green, black. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar, and you'll find all the measurements and ingredients in the description box below.